Tax District Advisory Commission. We call the meeting to order, and first thing we're going to do is I'm going to suspend the meeting temporarily as far as the rules go, and give the gentlemen representatives from Nexton and Mead Westvaco the floor so they can do the presentation and then take any questions and answers that you all may have, because I'm sure a lot of you guys are here because of that. One thing I'd like to ask ahead of time is I'd like to take a kind of quick hand survey. How did you guys find out? Was it?
The sign. That's what I thought.
Anybody on Facebook?
Yeah.
Anybody see the website other than Facebook or anything like that? Okay, most of it is signs.
Okay.
Okay, all right. And I'll let you guys introduce yourselves. Go for it.
Good evening, everybody. We didn't expect this big crowd. We're happy to have you. For those who don't know me, my name is John Graham, and I work for Mead Westvaco. I'm the project manager for Nexton. With me tonight is Bill Mallery. Bill Mallery is our Senior Vice President of Construction and Development. He oversees all our development, everything you see happening on the other side of 17A. That's Bill's responsible or blamed for that. So what I'd like to do tonight is, and with a big crowd, we'll stay tonight as long as you'd like us to, or we'll leave as soon as you want us to. So, I want to just give you a quick orientation to Nexton. And the first question everyone asks is, where is Sangaree? Well, Sangaree is right at the bottom of the map. You can see it here. And as you come out Sangaree Boulevard, what you see happening directly on the other side of 17A is what we call frontage road. We'll go into that in a little bit of detail. But first off, as you see this is 5,000 acres. This is a big piece of property. It's the size of the Charleston Peninsula. And just so you can get an idea on the access, let me just start with the access to the property. Exit 199 right here, 199B coming out 17A. We will have this road that you see right here is what used to be called Rose Drive. We're realigning that. That's where the Hess station is. That little spot right there is the Hess station. For a long time, every time we were directing somebody to Nexton, it's take a left at the Hess station, and our offices are back here. Well, that's changing. So we're in the process of building this road, and eventually that road will go all the way up to the Parkway. Directly when you come out, we have what we call frontage road. And frontage road, as you come out from Sangaree and come up, eventually that'll tie into the new interchange as well. So two access points along 17A. This interchange right here, this is new. This will be 197. 197 is, it's fully funded. It's in the design and I guess starting the engineering process. It's our understanding that that will be open and operational December 31st, 2015.
Is that Sheep Island Road?
Yeah, Sheep Island Road actually is, this road goes all the way up to 176. And if anybody's ever driven...
Can I ask you to possibly put that there because you're blocking everything you're pointing at?
I'll do my best. Okay. So as you see, another entrance to this. Now at the same time the interchange is built, Mead Westvaco is obligated to construct at least 2 lanes of Nexton Parkway that will go all the way up to 176. So you can expect that at the end of 2015, both the entrances on 17A, of course 199, 197 operational, and a road that comes up and ties in all the way up to the top. You'll also see a number of access points that run along 176. You can see the main one right here, but there'll also be this right here, one here, and probably another one that's right in here. So that's the access to the property. We use this map every day, so it's easy for us to interpret. But just if I can just talk to you about the colors and what they represent. As you look at this, if you see along 26, you see purple, and purple is office, and it's part of we have 8 million square feet of commercial property that is approved to be built in Nexton. That's a huge amount. But you'll see offices along 26 where they should be, where they're close to infrastructure. And as you move to this kind of the red color, the red color represents a more intense use. That's restaurants, athletic clubs, stores, clothing stores, furniture stores, that type of use whenever you see. And you can see down in our first phase down here, that's what you're seeing as you come across. That's got that dark red, and I'll take you through in a few minutes what's happening right across the street. As you go further, you kind of start seeing some orange uses. And orange uses, that's like townhouse, apartments, condominiums. They kind of buffer the stores from the residential uses. As you get into the lighter color is residential. It's townhomes and single-family detached homes. We're approved for over 10,000 homes. And we probably won't build that many, but at least the entitlements are there. A lot of that depends on the market. So this is, and just from the build out of this as you kind of come north, this is a 25-year development. So a lot going to happen here. When you look at the green are delineated wetlands that we can't touch. And there's about 2,000 acres of delineated wetlands. There's also, when you see the light green around those wetlands are buffer areas. And buffer areas can be used recreational purposes. As you look at this, one of the things that we've done is we have a comprehensive plan for walking and biking and jogging trails that go throughout the community. They'll be open to the public. There's 52 miles of those trails in our plan for the development of Nexton. A huge amount. Like I said, to be open to the public. Now, you see from a development scheme, we're moving this way. We get asked a lot of questions on where would the homes be and what would the prices be. Again, all the yellow are those uses. And you can think in terms of prices. We'll have homes eventually that are in the low 100,000s, and we'll have homes that sit on some more of the estate lots that could be well over $500,000. So first off, just wanted to give you an overview of this, and I'd like now to just, if you could hand me this, it's going to be a little tough to see, but I want to get into what we're doing right now across the street.
No one can see it.
Okay.
This woman right here can.
Okay. It's hard to hold it up, but I will tell you that as difficult as it is to see, we'll stay as long as you want afterwards. And you come on up, and I know the people in the back have a hard time seeing this. Just once again, to orient you, this is 26 over here. This is 17A. It's coming along. Eventually, 17A, the road right here, that's frontage road that lines up with Sangaree Parkway. So when you looked at the big map coming right across, that's that road. So what we're doing, and Bill's going to take you through it in a few minutes, we're building this infrastructure. That road, Rose Drive, coming down to, I get my own bearings here, coming down to, this is the Hess Station, this will be Sigma Drive, and then 17A. When you look across the street, you're seeing a lot of activity. These are the things that are immediately happening across the street. In that location right there, we're getting ready to build an office building. A four-story, 100,000 square foot Class A office building that we'll take a third, Mead Westvaco will take a third of that. We're joint venturing that with a company called the Rockefeller Group, building that office building. We'll be in, oops.
That's even more.
Really can't see it.
Maybe that's what happened to the whole thing.
There you go. There you go. Okay. So what you're seeing right here, 100,000 square foot office building. We've stabilized the pad. It's ready to construct. We'll have steel on the site in about 30 days. Have a groundbreaking here on February 20th. That'll be the first endeavor. And again, when you're looking at all those purple uses that you saw in our original plan, they come all the way up. In just our first phase, there's 740,000 square feet of office buildings, 6 or 7 buildings total. Right across the street, right here, is a Marriott Courtyard Hotel. It's a 94-room hotel. It'll start construction in March. It'll open March of 2014. We're also doing here, if you can see the multifamily, and again, I know for a lot of you it's tough to see. If you look at the multifamily that sits right here, there and here, that's an apartment home development, and there's 320 units. We're joint venturing with what's called the Beach Company. And joint venturing, for those who aren't familiar, is just a partnership with a specific purpose. So you'll see in the next 60 days, an office building coming out of the ground, a hotel coming out of the ground, an apartment community started that'll be built out over 18 months. Now, we're also working on a retail village right here. And a retail village is a village anchored by restaurants. And what we're reaching out to is well-known restaurateurs in Charleston and asking them to come to Nexton to open up another store. And so you'll see that location right there. There's a number of different restaurants. We're actually dealing with 10 different ones that we're negotiating for sites. We'll eventually have 4 or 5. And I can tell you they'll be pretty well-known restaurateurs. We're also working on having a fitness center or an athletic club that'll fit in the downtown. That's a 14,000 square foot building, 8,000 on the first floor, 6,000 on the second floor. And that'll be obviously memberships to the public. But it also serves, you can think of how we're developing this first phase. We have offices that are close to apartments, that are close to shops, that are close to athletic facilities, to dining experiences. So this, as we've planned it, is a very walkable, bicycle-friendly community, a connected community. Our goal was to not be as dependent on automobiles as a lot of developments you see right now. That it's just walkable. And like I said, from offices to business to athletic club to hiking trails that go through the whole community. That's the thrust of what we're doing. Now, we have, you don't look at it, we have a spot right here. This is Village Way coming up. We also have a number of other businesses that sit right here. And those are inline shops like a UPS store, a hair salon, a nail salon, things like that, businesses that are used each and every day. There's another hotel, and there's another hotel right here. That hotel is a Marriott Residence Inn, so we have a courtyard and a Residence Inn. Marriott likes to do that. They'll put 2 brands right next to each other, and they feed very well off each other. One is a longer stay, one's a shorter stay, one's more business travelers, one's more leisure travelers, but it gives them a lot of synergy between the hotels. That hotel will start in 2016. This starts in 2013, opens in 14. So as you look at this, one of the things we get asked often is grocery store. And a lot of interest in I don't follow you from a shopping experience. We have a plan that includes a grocery store to anchor this mixed-use development. Grocery stores are really finicky. They're really tough. And when they look at our site, with Walmart on the other side of 26, Buy Low right across the street, they look at Harris Teeter, that's right down at the corner of 176 and 17A. They look at that and they're very dependent upon rooftops. I'll tell you that we've talked to every grocer you could imagine, from Whole Foods to Publix to Harris Teeter to Fresh Market, Piggly Wiggly, and right now we haven't secured that grocer, but I tell you it's something that we work on every single day. Some of the other things, when you look at some of these buildings right here, and again, as you come across Sangaree onto what we call Frontage Road, we have plans for office buildings, and the thrust of them will undoubtedly be medical care. We've talked to doctor groups who have, and emergency centers, surgery centers that are very interested in this location, spreading their wings. So you'll see that as they grow. The other side is the same thing. It's the thrust. We're looking at some Class A office space, but mainly on that side, we're looking at medical facilities. So I hope that gives you a quick overview. We're going to talk about a couple other things, but I'm going to ask Bill to just walk you through what we're doing. When you see all the equipment moving earth across the street, Bill's going to take a few minutes just walk you through what we're doing.
This is basically the same plan that John just shared with you. 17A, this is what we call Frontage Road or Brighton Park Boulevard. This is the Sangaree entrance right here, Bilo's sitting right here where the 3 lollipops are. You can see that we're moving forward with landscaping, curb and gutter, asphalt. I mean, basically taking the mushroom cloud and kind of cleaning it up and making it look like something, because you all have been real patient with us, as the folks have been on Rose Drive, with all the construction that we've had going on for about the last 9 months. So, very much appreciated, because you, as they say in our business, you got to break a few eggs and make an omelet. But we're doing it in a controlled environment. We're putting in oversized trees. We want things to be aesthetically pleasing day one. Not little 2-inch whips, you know, that take 10, 15, 20 years to become something. We're putting in trees that have some girth. And I encourage y'all, if you're driving in the area, to take a moment and just take a look at what we're creating there, because that's what the entire 5,000 acres, this is just the tip of the iceberg, to be honest with you. It's going to be done in a very quality and controlled manner. Hopefully all of you have realized over the last year or so that we've just recently gotten rid of the used car place, Country Credit Motors. I don't know if anybody in this room has a problem with that. We appreciated it going away. So we worked on that. We're working on you know, taking down all the overhead lines as well, all the electric and the telephone and the TV and all that stuff on the west side of 17A. We don't have a dog in the fight or control or anything on your side, okay? But at least we're cleaning up this side. Recently, you guys have seen these black poles with these, you know, like upside down L's, if you will. Those, we refer to those as mast arms. It is going to be really the first set of mast arms within reason within Berkeley County. We've got some on 176 with that other lesser development up there on 176. But we're hoping that it cleans up both of these intersections, Rose and Sangaree. So we're investing there for aesthetics. There is one remaining overhead line that's coming across down here. It's got 5 or 6 lines on it. BEC is in Virginia right now, Berkeley Electric, excuse me. They're in Virginia right now working on some storm damage, or else they would have had those lines down already. It's something they've got to do on a Sunday when traffic is real low. So that's the last remaining line on 17A. So we're cleaning everything up. We got rid of the, wasn't a pawn shop, what was that? Really aesthetically pleasing. Moneyman, yeah, the Moneyman place over here, we got rid of that. And like John said, we're cleaning everything up, and we're really elevating this side of 26, in all honesty. So what you see happening right now are improvements on 17A, Frontage Road, Rose Drive. We're straightening it out because what it does, what it used to do is basically this. Okay, we took that curve out of it because that curve goes right through the Courtyard Marriott, and we're rerouting traffic down through a temporary road that will go away probably in the next 2 to 3 months, and then we'll open up all of this infrastructure by probably end of May, early mid-June timeframe. Okay, and it'll be completely done, all the county standards, and you guys will be just really excited, even just to take a Sunday drive on it, because it'll be just really aesthetically pleasing. With all of that said, what we're doing is we're working on infrastructure. And John, I'll need that other. This kind of gives you a bigger overview. It's a bigger plan, so more of you be able to see what's out there built. Basically, the area that I just shared with you is this little piece right here. Okay? This is 197, future interchange again by the end of 15. That'll be in. This is the first phase of our parkway, what we're calling Nexton Parkway. That's going to go in that little green piece, kind of S-shaped. And then this road here is the extension of Brighton Park Boulevard, or Frontage Road. This is Sangaree intersection right here. So we're going to extend that all the way up. I'll have permits on the pink probably the next 2 months and start construction on that. On the green, I'll have permits by end of May, first middle of June. We'll start construction on that, because we've got to have infrastructure via Sheep Island Road is where we're going to get the Berkeley County school system in to start building their elementary school. And then by They want to start in August of this year, so I've got 5.5 short months to get infrastructure there. And then a short 12 months from then, or 18 months from now, I've got to have all this infrastructure done, open, and ready. Everything in green and pink, and of course, the purple here, just to get them from A to B, because there's no other way to get there. So we're dedicated to make that happen, and we think that that is going to be huge for you folks as well, because you've got children or grandchildren that go to an overcrowded school now, and they'll be able to get some relief there. So we were happy to do that.
How many
And
schools and where are they gonna be located?
I'm sorry?
How many schools and where are they gonna be located?
Well, this is just
10,000
this-
homes is a lot of kids.
This is,
It is, as you might remember, on November 6th, one of the ballot initiatives was to raise $197 million in bond offerings to construct schools throughout Berkeley County. The school district told us that the most important site, the highest priority site for a new school, slide this off for a second, oh, sorry, is in our school village that sits right there. So what Bill was talking about, to get them to get infrastructure to that site so they can begin construction is critical to us. But we will have 2 elementary schools, a middle school, and probably, although high school would probably be an arts and science or a technical high school. But there's 4 schools that are planned for Nexton. And they fall here. There's another site that sits right there. There's a site that sits there as well. So two elementary, 1 middle, and then a school. And I'll tell you, I know a lot of people, that ballot initiative, you know, whether you voted for it or against it, it's something that's a critical need in the county, and we're thrilled. We actually have donated 24 acres to the school district. We didn't sell it, we gave it to them, if the bond passed to build an elementary school. So, you know, we kind of put our money where our mouth is on it. Yeah.
Okay, you're saying your next time exchange is not gonna open up to 2050.
Yes.
Okay, right now, Tramway and Carriage Crossing is killing themselves to go across 5 lanes of traffic coming off 199 and bottlenecking all that traffic. What are you gonna do on these 2 frontage roads to get them over there more safely than what they have now?
Yeah.
'Cause
I'm glad you asked that question, because there are a lot of, I live in Somerville, but there are a lot of folks, John, who come that way every single day.
Take my life in my hand.
Yeah, I mean, we all do. And what I'm hearing from a lot of folks is that you go down and you take a right onto whatever that first road is that goes to the right.
you know, a Farmington Road.
Yeah, you take a right, and then you do a UE, and then you wait at the light, and then you do your thing. What we're doing on Frontage Road, which is your intersection, is we're doing a tremendous amount of work on 17A pursuant to SCDOT, South Carolina Department of Transportation. I didn't notice Frank here. Hey, Frank. So if you got any engineering questions, ask that fellow. Basically, what we're doing is we're making it safer for you to have more room to transition west into the western lane, okay?
By doing the second road instead of first.
Yeah, basically, the frontage road, or what we've renamed Brighton Park Boulevard, where your Sangaree intersection is. So you've got a little more time to get, actually, it's a lot more time, to get over rather than just, you know, closing your eyes and zigzagging over to the left. So, and a lot of people who live up on Rose Drive, I think there's 800 homes up there, they really appreciate what we're doing. So we're
We're
adding.
talking about some very patient people, with all the road line realignments we've done on that side, and temporary roads we built, they've really been patient.
That road from,
17A is going to have, yes, it's going to be widened. We're actually in the process right now, we're sort of jacked up on cinder blocks because we run into a tremendous amount of utilities inside and just outside the right-of-way. Not to bore you with the details, but there's so much infrastructure in the ground in a very close proximity to what we're doing, that, and the Strobels, you all may know them, they own the property right across from Bilo. They've been extremely patient with us, and we're actually meeting with them later this week, the Strobels, to work on basically handing them an olive tree and doing some landscaping for them to kind of make their place a little more aesthetically pleasing. They see a lot of value in it because of what we're doing, and there's a lot of synergy there. But we're working through these issues with Berkeley County Water and Sewer, with Frank's department as well, with the engineering department in Berkeley County, and then also the South Carolina Department of Transportation, because it's just a conglomerate of, really, it's just a mess. It's a spider web is what it is. But we're almost there. We're in the final negotiations with SCDOT, and I think what they're going to allow us to do, in all honesty, and keep my fingers crossed, and I hope you guys do too, they're going to let us close a lane for 2.5 days so that we can clean this mess up and get out of the right of way so we can give everybody our lives back, because it's a mess over there. We're doing our very best, but we have to work safely and we have to work around existing traffic, so it takes a long time. And then with all the underground utilities, they just exacerbated the situation, prolonged everything. So DOT, the county, water and sewer folks, they all see a lot of value in allowing us to do that for a day.
Your lane closure, will that take place at night?
I'm sorry?
Lane closure, would that take place at night?
It would, yes, sir. And we're getting DOT, we're approaching DOT now. It's actually, the request is in Columbia to make that happen, so that everything's transparent. We just, everybody who is involved, the county, Berkeley County Water and Sewer, DOT, of course, we as the developer, our contractor, we just feel that instead of dragging this out over a month and piecemealing this, let's just bite the bullet and let's just get it done. So they're gonna close a lane. Actually, it's not even closing a lane, it's redirecting traffic. You're still gonna have 2 lanes, except the median is gonna be used as one of those lanes. It's gonna be, you know, lights and all kinds of what we call MOT, it's maintenance of traffic. And we're gonna start at approximately 9 o'clock on a Friday night and be finished by 5:30 Monday morning. We have got to open it up by Monday morning. And we are gonna throw an army at this and make it happen. We will be out of it before 5:30.
Let me ask you a question.
And I don't know when it's gonna happen though, hopefully within a month.
I'm gonna try to change directions here. Nexton, what are their plans with Sangaree? Have y'all come part of Somerville? I mean, are y'all got plans to annex Sangaree? Are you gonna become a town, you know, in the future?
400 acres of our 5,000 acres is already in the town of Somerville. I don't think we're planning on adding or subtracting from that, in all honesty.
So the tax base is going to be Berkeley County?
4,600 acres of it, yes.
Okay,
How about that?
good.
You know, on 176 where Goose Creek already is?
We're not in the city of Goose Creek.
This is not, it's not, and we have no plans to annex the, especially
That
Goose
road,
Creek.
that
but-
road from North Main 17A up to Rose Drive,
The
the
pink,
official name now is Brighton Park Boulevard.
to Rose Drive, it is Brighton Park
Will
Boulevard.
it be the same name when you continue farther
Yes,
west?
yes, it'll be the same name all the way up to that intersection right
How
there.
are you spelling Brighton?
BRIGHTON.
Brighton Park Boulevard, is that the official name?
Yes, sir.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's been approved through the county and 911, the whole 9 yards. I could talk about infrastructure all day long and I'll bore 99% of you in here because it's what I do, I love it. Yes, sir.
How many lanes do you have coming out at the Sangaree Parkway intersection from Nexton? How many lanes of traffic?
Right now, it's a 4-lane median divided roadway with at least 1 right turn lane. I'd have to refresh my memory. There may be 2 right turn lanes, but I believe there's only 1.
There's a decel lane.
And, yeah, and then there's a decel lane. We're upgrading 17A. There's gonna be, eventually, there's going to be 2 left turn lanes into Nexton on Brighton Park Boulevard. Obviously, we've got to strike one of those off for traffic reasons. It doesn't qualify. We did a tremendous amount of traffic study. I mean, you know, you hear John talk about 10,000 homes and 8 million square feet of office, and all, you guys are probably going, my goodness, traffic's horrible already. We're doing a tremendous amount of really infrastructure that needed to be done. And we're happy to do it. And we're putting our you know, we're actually, you know, talking the walk, or walking the talk, whatever you want to say. Yes, ma'am.
What impact will it have on fire and police resources, given how large this complex will be?
We're actually working with, I think, the town on a 5-acre site right now up in this area, right in here, they have the ability to put an EMS or a fire station or a police station in that area right
When you
there.
say challenge, you're talking about Somerville.
Out of Somerville.
Somerville doesn't do anything on this side of the bridge for Sangaree right now. So you're saying that anything on 17A on this side of 26 is gonna be part of the city of Somerville? So
No,
they're
sir.
gonna have police services over there?
We've got 400 acres that's in the town.
Already.
I guess what I'm saying is that any increased services that we would require, we're offering to the facilities that we would use, that there would be additional facilities added as needed. And it's not our call, we're actually offering that through a development agreement with them.
I got a question. So that would be, I guess, what some of the residents are trying to get at when it comes to the police and fire services, being it's Berkeley County, unincorporated Berkeley County. So any of the law enforcement services would be from the Berkeley County Sheriff's Office if they wish to expand into that area? As far as coverage?
They're gonna have to because it's unincorporated
Right.
Somerville. So even though it's part of Somerville,
The sheriff's gonna have
it's
to come
still
up
gonna
with
be,
the
it's
extra.
still gonna be serviced by Berkeley County, Berkeley County Sheriff's Department and by the EMS and fire.
You're beyond me.
Is Somerville
It's
supposed
a
to
mailing
sit
address.
for?
Right, Somerville, we're a mailing address to Somerville. Somerville Police
But
Fire.
it's unincorporated to the city of Somerville.
Yeah, every time you try to bridge was-
I mean, I can tell you that we've done our due diligence in talking with, these folks, police, fire, EMS. We're willing to work with them to whatever level we need to.
I'm just curious if they've thought this out too, because, if you're gonna have Somerville City and Fire just on 400 acres there, but the rest of it's Berkeley County, it's gonna may cause some issues and difficulties and.
You do it in
Sure.
Westcott's, North Charleston, and Dorchester County, and Somerville. You do it over there. Yeah.
But we're committed to work with whomever to make.
Right, and I guess the
Not to degrade.
concern really is that we are already low on resources.
Right.
Here in Sangaree, we already have big concerns about, not necessarily the fire, but more the security, the sheriff's office.
Yes.
We have real big concerns about that kind of coverage here already.
Well, we've had our share of challenges as well. We've had break-ins, we've had vandals, we've had equipment stolen, that kind of stuff. So, we're with you, 110%. We certainly are encouraging these folks to work with us. We're very open and honest, and we've got a transparent policy. Yes, sir, Tom.
Bill, at 199, I believe you're gonna do some more landscaping there too, in those quadrants.
Yeah, we're working with the mayor of Somerville. We're working with DOT, the county, on one or more of the clover leaves that have been left, naturalized. We feel that there's some value in thinning it, taking some of the dead wood out, and basically our president of forestry, Gene Hunley, who some of you may know, that's one of his pet projects. He's very diligent about that, and I know he met with the mayor today at 3 o'clock. So it's something that is not a back burner issue. It's something that we're working very diligently on, and we see a lot of value. Yes, sir.
You keep talking Somerville. Somerville's got nothing to do with anything on this side of the intersection. Well, we've got an address, but we don't have anything to do with it. If they go and try to incorporate you, what's gonna happen next? They're gonna be trying to incorporate Sangaree.
Currently, let me just reiterate, maybe I didn't. Of the 5,000 acres, there's 400 acres that are already in the town of Somerville. We have
On this side and on this side.
Yeah.
On this side, 26?
Everything on this side is Berkeley County.
Well, let me just clarify. If you look at these funny little orange lines right here, you look at those funny little orange lines, everything on that side of that orange line is in the town of Somerville already. This little tip right here that you see in our first phase, that's mostly in Berkeley County.
Berkeley County, and then Berkeley County all the way up. So when you ask, well, what's in, these 400 acres that Bill's referred to are basically the property that fronts on 26 is already in Somerville. North of that line, it's all in Berkeley County. And we have no plans whatsoever for an annexation of any of our property into Somerville.
How long has that been part of the town of Somerville?
At least 10 years.
Yeah,
It's a long time ago.
Yeah.
I think Tramway was actually annexed into Somerville. Tramway wasn't?
No.
No.
Us dispatcher, no. We had Westvaco, Animal Research, and we had the CPM, credit union. That's the only thing we had on this side.
Do you have any website with all these, so we can load them and copy? Do you have a website with these plaques and all this stuff on?
We have a website, but it's just our future and final website's under development. If you went to nextonsc.com, just go on that, and it has the overall map on it, and it talks about the community. As we build out our final website, which we should be having to the market by the end of April, you'll see
And
it.
you'll have it up, and somebody will be updating it. That way,
Yeah.
it'd be nice if we had, things to take back to our offices and.
And if you look at that, there's a place to indicate your areas of interest, there's a way to contact us. But if you send us an email, we respond to them.
Oh, good, you'll send it, okay.
We'll send it back to you, We try to do same day responses on emails, and both of us do that.
Have
Yes,
you
sir.
considered the possibility of getting us a post office on this side of I-26? Because right now, the only thing that identifies Berkeley County on this side of I-26 as being Somerville is the fact that the mail goes through the Somerville post office, and that zip code extends all the way up to Cane Bay. Actually, if you live on Sheep Island Road, almost to 176, you'll have a Somerville 29483 address, and nothing to do with the city government of Berkeley, of Somerville. This town, this side of the I-26, with all this growth, almost demands a post office with its own zip code on this side.
We haven't done that yet, but it's a very good
But
point that we
it's
need to
very,
address.
with all this 10,000 or 8,000 square feet of whatever of office space, if one space could just be a post office branch and a new zip code established for our side of I-26 would be a great development for the Sangaree and Berkeley County area.
After the meeting, post office, fire protection, police protection, we're on it.
They're already losing 25 million a day, I'm sure, putting in
Well, they should export that tax on every government service.
So, you're talking about all of the information on that side of the road. What are you gonna do for Sangaree besides beautify the 17? I mean, is Sangaree gonna get any benefits from that? Help us upgrade our.
Yeah, more traffic on Sangaree
Can
Parkway.
I intercede, in line with aesthetics, you've got that nice long arm, we love it, traffic light and everything. Are you planning on duplicating that? We've only got one other, area, Beauregard and 17, and then up there by Hess. Will the arms go there as well?
Both at Hess and the Sangaree interchange.
Okay, but not Beauregard?
Not for, but both the access points on 17A will have the master.
Okay. Would you be opposed to helping us with duplicating that?
Well, it would be great.
It's only 3 lights. When you cross, there's only Hess, Sangaree Parkway, and Beauregard that have the lights, and then in some other town, there's a light,
Well, I do want to tell you, it's a tough question. It's very hard for me to say that, to make improvements to other people's properties. It's just not
We
something.
give you permission.
How
many agree?
I hopefully by the development we're doing, and the mass arms, which are a considerable expense, it will help beautify Sangaree and we hope everybody's values are lost. But we have no plans to do it other than those two locations.
I have a two-part question. One is, how do you plan, if at all, to phase in Sangaree, or kind of make it a part of rather than a clear, separate difference? And secondly, my second question is, what is your 5 or 10 year projected plan in terms of population homes, business, office, filling all that space?
Well, the first part, what are we gonna do to integrate
Yeah.
Sangaree into Nexton? That's a tough, it's a tough
Okay.
question for us. I mean, we're investing a lot of money on entrance signs and entrance monuments and locations, and.
Is there a partnership at all maybe in the?
Well, we're certainly willing to talk to
All
you
right,
about
well,
it.
listen,
Let
that's
me
worth the
say it.
question, right?
It's just a hard question.
Okay.
I want to go to a couple things on the second part of your question, what's happening in the next 10 years. What we're looking at down here, where you saw in this, it's about 100 acres of what we're doing right now. It's a very small piece. That's our phase one. And that's 3 to 5 years for the development of phase one. When you saw the restaurants and the hotels and the office building, the medical building, athletic clubs, apartments, 3 to 5 years to complete that. The second phase of what we're going to do is actually right up here. And that's we call it School Village. And our third phase is here. Now, we're not numerically challenged, like 1 through 2, but that center right there, where you see that red, remember, as I said earlier, that's a more intense use. We call that our city center right there. And we looked at, our market research, we looked at what people need, what they want from a shopping experience. And for a lot of people, there's King Street, and there's not a lot else. And so we've looked at that as a destination shopping experience. And in our own minds, we think of Nordstrom or Belk, Cheesecake Factory, and Maggiano's, and W Hotel, and Regal Cinemas, to make that a destination for the region. That we put in our plan in our 7th year of development that would start, and would probably take 5 years to build that up. That's over 1 million square feet of retail use right there. So thinking in terms, 3 to 5 years here, and about 750,000 square feet of retail and stores and things. Then in 7 to 12 years, the development of that. And then School Village, we talked before, the school's approved. It's up in that side, and I'll just take you quickly.
Because I live on the fringe.
When you come out on Sangaree, and we looked at that white road, that's frontage road, Brighton Park Boulevard. This is Nexton Parkway. This is a plan for our first phase. The residential right here will deliver our first lots to builders in the 2nd quarter of 2014. That means done, where they can start building homes here. And you can see what we call that intersection right there. When you come out of Sangaree, cross into Nexton, come up to this interchange where it ties into Nexton Parkway, this commercial area and the the city center, you'll see a tremendous amount of development here. This is depicted like another grocery anchored shopping center, grocery stores, restaurants, medical offices, the school, YMCA. On this plan for our first phase, there's 350 home sites. It actually extends further. There's 675 home sites, and we'll start selling those in 2014. We'll absorb those at about 150 to 200 a year. So to answer your question, that'll be the first residential endeavor. The parks, the trails need to be in place. And this has places to worship. It's got schools. It's got, you can see a tremendous amount of greens and pocket parks for people to enjoy. Some of the lots are a little bit smaller than you see in Sangaree. These are smaller lots, but they are, walkable to a park. And so that's one of the things. So hopefully that answers your question, just what we're doing phasing 1, 3, 2, and
Let me speak to your question about your first question, incorporating or bringing into, you folks into our development. I would encourage everyone in this room to change your paradigm, the way of thinking for just a second. It's like Kennedy said, it's not what you can do, I can do for you, it's what you can do for your country, etc. We are creating basically a destination that has, like John said, over 50 miles of trails eventually when it's all built out. Parks, lakes, where you can fish and you can spend time with your grandchildren and your children and things like that. We would encourage everyone in this room, as we build these out, to come over and enjoy the facilities.
Right.
There aren't any gates. There are no guards. You guys, this is open country. Don't come over where I'm digging holes and stuff like that. I'm gonna run you off because I don't want you to get hurt. But when it's finished, come over and enjoy it. That's how I can,
asked, because I
that's
live
how I
right
can
on the
bring you in.
fringe. So how do I make that seamless travel, if you will, to come over and enjoy those things based on where I live? That's what I kind of meant to make
You
that.
drive over and you park at the village
Okay.
and you have yourself a nice coffee and maybe a Danish
Yeah.
and you walk to a local park or a trail.
Yeah.
There's gonna be areas where you can park. It's not up, it's way down here. You know, this is a little ways out. But I mean, way down here in our first phase, you can come in a year and you can enjoy that, or 6 months from now. You know, we've got ponds that we've built and trails that we're gonna build, sidewalks that are going in now. So you're gonna start seeing things cleaned up and it's going to invite you in. And you're not trespassing. You're welcome to come visit. Please come visit.
Good lady in the back.
What about like a library? This library could not handle all those people. I mean.
We can't even handle this meeting.
Built this library, and I think that if there's gonna be that many more people, I would love another library. So I don't know if that's you or if it's Berkeley County or.
Well, can I just say?
We have said that we can find a place for the library.
Yeah.
We got 5,000 acres.
Okay.
We can find places for more than one library. And
Sangaree-
we have met with them to see that.
It's all about quality of life.
Sangaree gave this property, had to turn this property over to Berkeley County in order to get them to build a library.
Right, they filled in the pool.
Yeah, so it's not Sangaree's library, it's Berkeley County's library, in Sangaree.
So as
We've
part of
got a
that
lady down
24
here that raised
acres,
her hand up
hold
for
the
the last
library?
20 minutes. Yes, ma'am.
The light that's at the end of Sangaree Parkway,
At
I
least
know
ask the
when you go
question.
through Berlin G. Myers, it's a shared green light, and it takes forever to cross that light when you're coming from Walgreens side. So my question to you is, that light that's coming at the end of Sangaree Parkway, is that gonna be a shared green between our side and your side, or is that gonna transfer between, so one side I have a green and then the other side have a green?
I don't want to put my friend Frank on the spot. It's between the county and DOT. Mead Westvaco doesn't have a dog in that fight. Frank, is that fair?
Yeah, the timing of the light, one of the things I mentioned earlier, the big stumbling block, if you remember when there was when it was called the Parks at Berkeley, one of the big problems was how to get people in. And the only solution is to put the new frontage road in, and it'll have double lefts. So it'll be double left turns. So it'll be phased. I can't stand here and tell you exactly what the phasing is, but it can be programmed and reprogrammed, and it'll be adjusted as growth takes place. All of this is going to take a long time. There are going to be many years before there are enough people back there to build libraries and some of the things that you've talked about. But the traffic is going to be there immediately. Another thing that this will do, all of this, is to take some of the traffic off of 17A. It's not just going to dump traffic on, but the new interchange and the Parkway. I come from Somerville every morning, and the traffic turning on the 176 to go to Cane Bay School backs up. They'll never be able to use those intersections in the morning. This way, that traffic can go, has another route to I-26, has another route from Sangaree, for that matter. So it's a long-term project, and the first and most immediate thing is that signaling, that intersection, and getting the traffic off of Rose Drive at the Hess Station. Or Sigma, excuse me, John. I know we got new terminology
There is a road drive,
now.
but it's going to be cut off now between
Right.
Park and.
Yeah, don't look for Rose Drive at the Hess Station any longer.
Yes, sir.
I can see a much increased traffic on Sangaree Parkway. You got any plans for Sangaree Parkway? You don't plan on widening it or increasing the speed limit or anything like that?
No.
I hope. Cross your heart. Cross your heart, hold your hand.
I don't have any plans. Where do you think, what's gonna generate the traffic?
4 lanes coming out of the light up there?
But 217A, where are they gonna go?
Straight through across to Royal Road.
You're saying raise the speed.
No, I'm saying don't raise the speed.
Can't all talk at once.
Yeah, good.
Good heavens, ma'am.
But we don't even have a sidewalk as it is.
I know.
That's another question.
In your town center, are you gonna make plans to have building controls in there, such as, county offices? So we don't have to go to months for anymore?
Well, I guess that's always.
Wouldn't that be great?
That would be wonderful.
Frank wants his office there.
Yeah, I've got a spot picked out, man, no kidding.
How many jobs do you expect it to generate once everything's set up?
You know, we've done various projections of them. All we can say is thousands, you know. And it starts with, you know, a hotel, that can have 30 people working there. The restaurants can have 20, 30 people working there. It just multiplies, and so we just have thousands and thousands of jobs.
Your higher paying jobs that will come out of your medical facilities and your other offices and companies moving into those, generally speaking, those are gonna be companies moving in from another place, sizing up, where they're already got 95% of their employees, but are not gonna be looking for a lot of new employees. I mean, is that part of your market
Well,
research?
you know,
What do you see in that?
Part of the market research, and we're thorough. I mean, we don't get it all, we're pretty thorough on it. When you look at the greater Charleston area, the greater Charleston area is projected to produce 10,000 net new jobs a year for the next 10 years. It's a huge number. That's net of gains and losses. 10,000 net new jobs over the next 10 years average. That produces, from our research, that produces the demand for about 7,500 homes. And it's about 5,200 single-family homes and the rest apartment homes. So, and they're coming, net new jobs, they're coming to the area for the most part. So that's, you know, it's, if you look at what the demand, you know, we own a piece of property that's right in the path of growth. This area is right in the path of growth. Berkeley County will capture a majority share